So I studied human rights at SMU,
Okay.
And then I got involved with the Center for Survivors of Torture, and that's a psychosocial treatment center for asylum seekers and survivors of torture. And so there was largely the clients that we served were people with PTSD, and so mental illness is disability, and disability rights are human rights, and so it all kind of went in together in terms of my interest in that field. And then also as someone with depression and mental illness, I mean the topic was personal to me. And then I had in 2012 I had a daughter born with Down syndrome and congenital heart disease, and her name is Nico, and Nico is pure joy. And so in terms of her health care, that was also about the time when we had Obamacare, and then a lot of other attacks on health care. And then also in terms of access to disability rights, special education, Medicaid, all those things kind of all came together. And so my human rights work became more solely or narrowly focused on disability rights. Well, it's become more political. So I do work with statewide disability organizations. I'm on the board of the ARC of Texas, and I also consult with political candidates for office on disability issues. So I serve on Congressman Colin Allred's advisory board, and then helped do disability policy for Beto when he was running for Senate. And so yeah, I try to encourage politicians to promote, protect, and further the rights of people with disabilities.
You seem like a crazy busy lady. How do you keep it all together?
I don't. Absolutely don't. That's why Mita's like, this is a fierce woman profile. I'm like, fierce? I'm like, how about totally flawed and like flailing and tired? Like, I don't know, fierce. But you know, I mean, when it comes to things that you're passionate about or you believe in, you find a way. And so that's what I try to do. Yeah. The sad thing is that a lot of people today, they don't know people with disabilities, and so especially parents, the first person they meet, who particularly someone with intellectual or developmental disabilities, is when they have a child with Down syndrome or some other developmental disability.
Yeah, right.
Because they don't know adults, because adults were institutionalized from infancy for decades, right?
Right, yeah.
And that's one of the things that I try to work on is the closure of what they call now it's like this sanitized name. They used to be called state schools or institutions for the feeble-minded, and now they call them state-supported living centers.